Good morning. My boys are doing dawn patrol at Sandy's Beach right now, and I thought I would hit the Makapuu Lighthouse Trail one more time. And of course my boys say, "Dad, that's not really a trail because it's paved and you're not really hiking because you're walking." And I'm like, hey, don't be giving me that. Anything with an incline outside of my normal walking routine, that's a hike. Come on, can I get a witness, somebody? Anyways, I would hike this trail a lot over the last 5 years here on Oahu. This is one of my God spots. Those spots that you go to kind of hash things out with God. And I normally will journal at home or in the office or at a Starbucks, but this is where I go to kind of wrestle things through. I picture this rock here, though it may not look like much, is like the anvil upon which the blacksmith of my soul shapes and pounds me so that I become what it is that he has called me to be. Yeah, sometimes he has to use the fiery furnace to make me malleable and shapeable, and the sparks fly. But inevitably, when I walk away from this rock, I call it surrender rock, I'm better for it, and I find myself closer to the one that is leading me and guiding me. And obviously, there's a lot of emotion. We're flying out in 2 days. And I was just thinking about the moment at this rock right here where God had me begin the letting go process. And of course, I was like, God, I already have let go. And he says, no, you haven't. Make a list. And I started making this list, right? And I realized how much I hadn't let go of. And I'm not a list guy. But there was something about writing all of these things out, these things that are good. They weren't bad things. A lot of times we think that surrender is just surrendering sin. And of course, that's a part of it, the repentance. But a lot of letting go is letting go of the good things. Anything that steals our affection and our attention can become an idol. And so I just began to write through all of these things that God had given me, the amazing things that God has given me, just even living in Hawaii and being able to pastor this amazing church called New Hope Oahu as a campus pastor, and the people and the opportunities and the just the life-changing moments that's happened. I just began to let go of all of these things. And Jesus reminded me of when he said in Matthew 10, if you cling to it, you will lose it. But if you lose your life for my sake, you'll find it. That's why I call this surrender rock. I'm surrendering again. Surrendering to the Lord, the future, the present, this church here, New Hope Oahu, that I love so much, the Father's house in San Marcos and in the San Diego area of California. So looking forward to seeing what God is doing there. But I have to surrender the outcomes so that I can cling to Him. And that's just what I want to encourage you to in this season. A lot of times we think that letting go means I'm going to have to go. And we're going, but that's not necessarily what it is He's going to ask you to do. But letting go is an important process. And I would just encourage you to do the same thing. Find your God spot, make a list, and write out all the things you're going to let go, so that you can go wherever it is He's calling you to do. And a lot of times when we let go, it's because He wants us to stay, dig our heels in, and serve Him. We're always asking God to move, and God is saying, I want you to move with me. Like Jesus would walk, and He said, I don't do anything but what I see the Father doing. It was a steady series of surrenders that led Jesus from town to town, village to village, person to person, miracle to miracle. And I think that's what this season is all about. We're going to, all of us, learn so many lessons from this season. But this is a part of that letting go process. And of course, there's that mixture, right, of joy at what is ahead and sadness. But I love how in Hawaii we don't say goodbye. We say ahui ho until we meet again. And there's always going to be a part of me here in Hawaii. And there's so much of what I learned here that I'm going to take with me to San Diego. And I know that when I get there, I'm going to have to let go again and again and again. Again, it's not about going somewhere. It's about going with God. So I just wanted to encourage you to do that. Take some time in the slow reopening of our country. Let's reopen our hearts to let go of not just the bad things, but also the good things. I want to show you the sunrise from this morning. And it was so interesting because there was these young girls, these teenage girls that were saying, I don't want to wait. They took some pictures of themselves, some selfies, and they were like, I don't want to wait for the sunrise, let's go. And then another group of hikers came up and they said, yeah, I don't got time to wait for this, let's go. And I get that sentiment. That's normally me, but this season of surrender has been all about waiting on God. And you'll see from this sunrise that God's will is worth waiting for. As you wait on Him, as you surrender your rights, your timing, your frustrations to the Lord, let it go so that you can cling to Him and step into all that He has for you. God bless. Ahuiho.